Start. Emmanuel, live at UNCF Philly's Afternoon Tea Women of Faith and Education event. I have a special guest with me, an honoree in the building. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and let everybody know your name?
Hi, I am Dr. Safiya Shabazz, and I serve as president of the Medical Society of Eastern Pennsylvania, the Greater Philadelphia affiliate of the National Medical Association. I also am the proud owner of Fountain Medical Associates, a primary care medical practice.
That's awesome. So we're at this event, Afternoon Tea. I know you're just getting in. Tell us, how did you even learn about UNCF? How long have you known about them? And how does it feel to be honored today?
I've known about UNCF since I was a child, and it is an organization that is long-standing, keeping the flame of education burning bright and strong for legions of college graduates or black students aspiring to be college graduates so that they can be leaders in their communities and in their professions.
Awesome. And so I'm going to ask you a couple questions, like I said, as a conversation. So where did you go to college?
I actually did not attend an HBCU. I attended the University of Pennsylvania, which is right here in Philadelphia,
Yep.
for undergrad and medical school.
All right. And what was your major or concentration in medical school?
Well, in undergrad, I majored in chemical engineering, and I worked for a couple of years before circling back and applying to be a medical student. And I graduated like all med school graduates. They major in the same thing, medicine. I applied for and completed a residency program in family medicine, and that is my profession. That's my specialty, is family medicine.
And what made you lock in on that?
It could be partly my attention deficit. I never really wanted to lock into one particular thing. My interests are broad, and having the opportunity to be prepared to care for most of the health needs of all people, men, women, children, and it's been really a joy of my life. It's something that I feel is what I was called to do. There are many things that I think I'm good at. I'm great at gardening. I, do some arts and crafts and sewing. Obviously I studied and completed a degree as an engineer, but this is something that feels very natural to me, my work as a family physician.
And for a student out there that's watching it who also is like the same way, like wearing multiple hats, enjoying doing everything, what has been the one key to your success so far that's helping you keep everything balanced?
Well, I was told you can do it all, but you can't do it all at once. And so just recognizing that you always have a choice. You can, as long as you keep your physical self healthy and whole and here, which is so important. So many of us have a lot of aspirations, but when we don't attend to the house of God that is our bodies, we really run short on the time we have to explore all of what God may call us to do. So I think recognizing that you still have a choice. That was from the movie. What was that movie with Tom Cruise? The Minority Report. You still have a choice. You can always go in a different road, a different direction, and the universe is really expansive. There's so much to do and learn. We need people who find their love and passion in one thing, but you don't have to do that if you don't wish, and you can always, if you don't like the direction your life is going, turn around and head in a different direction.
That's awesome advice. We did a little bit of research, so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions based on my research. So you've bridged science, medicine, and advocacy in powerful ways. What would you say to young students, especially Black and Muslim students, who dream of a career in STEM but feel like they don't see themselves in spaces yet?
it's interesting, particularly for any black person, knowing that we created wonders that still have never been replicated. Wonders of engineering and science, and I think sometimes when we are geographically limited and haven't had the opportunity to go and study history and see firsthand the amazing things that we have done through the years. Our history, as beautiful and amazing as it is, that we have come up from slavery and achieved what we have, that isn't where our history began. And to know that we were doing surgeries and having innovations, particularly the Muslim world, really just astronomy and surgery. I had a chance to go and visit a museum in Istanbul that was like a museum of science and technology, and just to think the things that were being done centuries ago, and we have a sense of disbelief. I'm someone that I'm always a little bit annoyed when you see these alien shows and they're like, oh, well, they couldn't have done that, with their own human intelligence. There had to be some outer space entity that thought this for us, original people of the earth, when it is hard to believe when you look at some of, how the state that we're in now. But no, we did that. We built that. So see yourself in that and connect yourself to the source knowledge. I think if you really understand and recognize that you are a direct descendant from the originator himself, that really is something that inspires me, that even if I didn't ace or get 100% on a test, I know that within me is a connection to that source that created that knowledge.
That's amazing. Being honored today is a reflection of the impact you've made in medicine and community health. What does this recognition mean to you, and how does it align with the mission of Fountain Medical Associates and your work with the Medical Society of Eastern Pennsylvania?
It really is an honor to receive this award, and it is, I think what it means to me and what it brings to mind for me is the power of collective work and responsibility. We all have the ability to do great things as individuals, but none of us as individuals can really achieve our maximum potential alone. And the work that I do in my medical practice at Fountain Medical, I don't do it alone. I have many people who have come through, people who may aspire to be physicians or physician assistants, and as I'm helping them in that process, they're helping me. The work that I've been able to do over the last 4 years with the Medical Society has really been transformative for me. I really hadn't had, outside of my practice, I hadn't had any leadership opportunity, but if you were really committed, deeply committed to a cause and recognize the importance of having shared experiences with your patients and the difference that that makes in the care that you provide, you realize how very important it is to cultivate and feed the pipeline of black and brown physicians here in the Philadelphia area and across the country.
Wow. I have a couple last questions, but I wanted to just kind of like hang on something you said towards the end there. Just why is it important to have representation in medicine for our people? And this is like we're talking to students who are like on the fence about even going to medical school.
Right, and I mean it's a daunting task. You really are devoting your life to be a shared life. It's not one that is one of your own. When we are in the Philadelphia area, roughly 40+% of the population, and yet black physicians make up, barely 6% of all physicians. And there's also data showing that when you have a greater representation, particularly in primary care, of people from the black community in the medical space, the black people in those communities live longer. We're talking about life and death here, so it is vitally important, not just the work you do one-on-one in the exam room, but this study was looking, even if that doctor is not your doctor, they're in spaces to represent you when you're not there, so that the needs of the community are highlighted and amplified and always front and center in the various spaces we are, where all of us don't get to walk in those spaces to assure the health, life, vitality of all of us.
It's amazing. All right, so we got some quick fire questions at the end. All right, question number one, what was your favorite college memory?
Favorite college?
Favorite college memory.
Favorite college memory. This is probably a bad one to say, but it became a favorite memory only because I look fondly back at my mother and how she really loved me so much and was so instrumental in my development and pushing me forward. She unfortunately passed away from leukemia my second year of college, but the first year of college, she got me kicked out of my room. Because she got into an altercation with my roommate, and mama didn't take no mess. And so that became my favorite college memory, because it's like, when I think about it, it's a wonder that I finished. But I look back at that and I feel like I win best college story whenever I tell people that. My mother wasn't there to meet me on graduation day, but I knew that she was there and still remains with me here in spirit. Her fire, flame, zest for life, that is a part of me.
It's beautiful. All right, last thing. If you could say one thing to your high school self, what would that be?
I think in high school, I think I knew I was smart, but I never really had the confidence that I've developed as an adult, and really maybe even in the last 5-10 years, to tell my high school self that you are that girl. And you might not see it, but so many people around you do see it. And if you just stay the course, believe in yourself, keep God at the center of everything you do, and pull from that never-ending fountain of wisdom and knowledge and strength that we get from a higher power, then you're going to be okay. You're going to go through some ups and downs, and change and challenge is a part of life. We say in Islam, struggle is ordained. That's just a part of life, but you have what it takes to make it through.
Amazing. Thank you, Dr. Shabazz, and congratulations.
Thank you, Emmanuel.